Okay, so I'm going to be making this YouTube video on for members that drive the stock market on level two, and primarily based on advanced level two order flow reading. And if you haven't already seen my pretty much beginner's guide on order flow, I would go to my YouTube video on level two. I posted about a couple months ago. It's a really good explanation of what is level two, why we use it, what we're looking for, stuff like that. Very very basic. But this one is more in depth, and I want to go over a couple of things. The advanced section, predictive versus reactive price action. I want to go over a tape and order flow. So basically, tape and then the order flow that we're seeing on the screen. And then some hidden buyers and sellers, and then how price is reacting to certain levels. And I want to go a little bit quickly because I have 4 live trading archives that I want to go over today to basically break down the information and really explain it in real time during the market hour days. And so these are going to be really important for us to go over. So let me just get right into it. So level two, what is order flow? The level two that we see here is primarily going to be limit orders placed on the market that are associated that haven't been filled yet. And then we have the time and sales, which actively shows you orders that go through the level two that get filled. And those are the prices that they went through the order at. And so that's what executed trades are, orders that actually hit is the way I put it. And then together we can see the direction of the market and where it's going based on reading this level two. And it's just like reading a book. I mean, this is literally called the order book. And so you have the bid and then you have the ask. And those are the pages that basically open up the market to be able to see, what's going on. This is what tells the story and the direction of, trading these stocks. So let's continue moving on here. Advanced level two reading. What is this about? This is reading a pressure, absorption, spoofing. It's illegal, but it happens. We see it all the time. And then even those hidden orders, we don't have to directly show our orders onto the market. So a lot of these big orders get put up on there hidden. So, this is the type of level two order flow that we need to be familiarized when we're reading these fast acting stocks, especially these small cap stocks where they're moving very, very quickly. And we need to get in and out very quickly as well. So let's move on here. What is predictive behavior? Predictive behavior is the assumption that it happens before. So typically, let's say if a stock is moving up to $5 and I'm getting in at 424 looking for that extension, but no orders are going through right now. I'm basically predicting based off of some type of chart pattern or example that I've seen before for this to start extending up to $5 a share. So that would be predictive behavior. And we notice patterns through this, right? So maybe we've seen a stacked bid or a stacked ask. Maybe bids are stepping up and the tape speed starting to increase as price is going. And we're thinking, okay, maybe there's a level here that I can buy the dip looking for that extension going up higher. So that would be predictive behavior. Now, on the opposite trend of that, we have reactive behaviors. And so this is reactive behaviors that we're going over that's happening in real time. So you're starting to see the tape increase. You're starting to see more green orders coming through the level two, and that price is starting to hold. And then that extension going up higher, and you're adding into that extension. And so that would be more reactive. So a lot of the times we talk about breaking the new candle high. That would be reactive price action, while buying the dip is more predictive. And I have examples to go over these. I know we're going really quick, but I want to get to those live trading archives so we can really break down and dissect what these levels are. Nextly, we have the breakouts and fakeouts. What are breakouts? What happens through those levels? What are fakeouts? And so typically what we'll see is, these breakouts, maybe they'll break over, 10, 20 cents, hold, and then continue going higher. Now, a fakeout may break over this level, maybe 1 or 2 cents, and then drop right back below. And that's those fakeouts and those rejections that we see so often in the small cap market. So, this is reactive behavior and predictive behavior. And then we can disassociate both of these while we're reading level two and actively take control of our own trading to be able to be a better trader, taking better entries, better exits. And we can go really from this level here. And these are really important not to get mixed with emotion. Reactive behavior and predictive behavior aren't based on emotion. They're based on logistical, statistical probabilities that we see in the market reading the level two. And so it's really important to watch these for these levels, because I mean, if you tie emotion into this, you're going to take really poor entries and exits thinking that these are levels, but they're really just your behavior and your mindset being able, that fear, that greed, that fear of loss, or maybe, that slight hesitation in trades that you're fearful of taking. So these are statistically probable setups that work. So how do I read order flow? Uh, I have three big things that I'm looking for. One, I'm looking for level two. I'm watching the orders on the ass, seeing what the order book is like. Secondly, I'm watching the tape. The tape together with the order flow is really important to watch out for, because if there's a hidden seller in the way, that's because that the tape is really what's going to show me. There's those hidden sellers. And then lastly, the chart patterns. Chart patterns are, very specific. Those are what I'm watching for key areas and levels to break as we're watching and continue going over, looking for that anticipation moves and going on. So chart patterns, we've discussed this in plenty of other videos as well. What kind of chart patterns we're looking for, in the live trading section of our Discord, we also go through a lot of these patterns together, and I break down why I'm trading these patterns, why they work, why they don't work, stuff like that. So what are the live examples that I have? So our first live example here is, I'm gonna pull these down real quick so we can be able to see, some of these levels that need to break. This is our first YouTube video here, and I really want to break down this YouTube video because I think it's really important to go over. And the reason why it's really important to go over this YouTube video specifically is this is going to be what happened earlier this week. I think this moved on Wednesday or Thursday, so yesterday. So this pattern right here is what we're seeing. I know it's a little bit small for the YouTube video, but we're seeing a really good extension. Then we have a 2-minute pullback forming, and we're looking for that next candle to make a new high. So oftentimes when I'm trading in these levels, I'll watch time specifically, but then I'll also watch these chart patterns to see, when I can take an order, looking for the break and continuation going up over this level. So what I'm watching here is firstly the 1-minute candle pullback that we talk about so often, and then I'm looking for the anticipation move. So this is the level 2 here at the bottom right that we're watching, and then the time and sales. So once you see that green on the tape coming through, we can really start, focusing on some of these order entry windows and start, looking for prices to start extend. So let's watch here as price, drops down a little bit. We're watching on, the new 1-minute candle to form, and then we're looking for this to start curling, and then we're looking for that break through the first candle to make a new high just after this level at six. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up a little bit bigger. 366 is the previous high. So now we're looking for that break, and I'll take that anticipation entry for the break of the candle of new high. So let's watch here as this dips down to the 350. It kind of holds support around this area. Now you're looking for that to start curling. As this curls through this level, we're looking for that level to break over, 360, 361. So I take a starter here. Green on the tape is coming through. That's really important. Green on the tape. And then we're looking for that candle to start curling over 360, 366, and that pop through 380. So this is the reactive price action. We're reacting and we're predicting this move for the extension going higher. Now we pop up there, the 371. And I'm taking some profit off on the ass as we're popping up 370. But here's what I start seeing. I wanted to see this go immediately up to 380. We already made this really nice move, and now we're looking for that extension going higher. But what we're coming into is a little bit of selling in this area, right? So you can see that there's, up to 370, back down to 368, 367, and we're kind of chopping around this range. And then I see a lot of red orders coming through. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if this was strong and this was a perfect setup, we would already be at $4 right now because it would be moving so quickly. There's obviously some people selling this stock right now, and it could be a false 1-minute breakout. And so that's what I'm starting to see is this hesitation. And so I see it come back down to 368, 365, 360, and it's already back down to where I entered pretty much. And I'm thinking to myself, this isn't the right chart pattern that we're looking for. We want to start seeing this extend through this level and start making new highs. And so that's what I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm going to take this position off, looking for maybe the next trade. I'll give it a second to work. Didn't pop up immediately. I'm hands off. That's predicting the level to break, the chart pattern prediction, and then reacting to that level. So those are prediction and reaction within the same trade, but they're very much of a contradicting themselves when predicting a trade compared to reacting to a trade. So that's a very good entry there. And then later on, this makes more moves, extends back up, whatever. But that's a really good chart pattern there that didn't end up working out, especially in this level. So hopefully you can understand, some of this level 2 tape reading and stuff like that when we're reacting and predicting this price action. Our next video is actually on a reactive behavior. So if we pull up the slide here, big sellers reactive. So this is reactive price action that we're looking for. So right now we have a stock that's moving up, probably on breaking news. In my assumption, the chart pattern's not great. It may be a Chinese company. On the 10-second chart, we're kind of curling up here, looking for that breakthrough high of day. And I'm looking for that breakthrough high of day as well on ZNB here for the breakthrough 270. So oftentimes when we're trading these breakout trades, these breakouts and fakeouts, we can see on the time and sales on the level 2 what orders are on the ask. And so if we're trading this and we're just blind and we're covering the level 2 completely, we don't have an idea. We're just looking at chart patterns. So watch this as it comes up to 270. I won't say anything. I'll just have you guys watch and see if you guys can point it out. So right there, I got in for a trade for the breakout of 270. I got in at exactly 270, looking for the breakout 270, looking for that extension up to 280, maybe 290. But what happened? We had a really big seller. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when I got into this trade, I pressed buy and immediately start seeing 100,000 share seller. So watch it as it comes up here. You see 115,000 shares on the ask, and then boom, up to 270. That's 120,000 shares on the ask right there. So that's a huge seller blocking the way. And so what do? I immediately click the sell button on the bid, and I'm out for a 2-cent loss. Nothing crazy. So that's reactive. I'm getting in for the breakout, reacting to price action as the tape starts speeding up, and then immediately as I see that huge seller, I'm out of the way. I don't want to touch it. It's not the right setup for me to trade, so I'm not going to touch it anymore. So completely hands off now, because we don't like to see those big sellers in the way. Sometimes we see them when a stock starts popping up, and the first thing I think about is insiders. The people that hold the company are starting to sell their shares because it's popping up after a long period of drawdown. So I'm completely out of that trade. So let's watch that one more time as this comes up to 270. You can take that breakout trade, green on the tape there, and then watching for that breakout and then that big seller coming in, and I'm completely out as, people are starting to panic sell. You can see red on the tape coming through here, and people are like, okay, I don't want to touch this anymore. It's, there's someone selling this. Our next one would be tape reading for buyers. It's a predictive strategy that we're using. This is on STI, and it's a little bit more expensive. And I was looking at this for a big account trade. I'm already up $50 in the small account. And this trade right here, I actually don't take a position, but I think this is worth noting, for you guys in the future is this setup right here is a dip trade. And sometimes what you can see is these buyers coming into these levels on dip trades, looking for that extension higher. And so what we're looking for when we're trading these stocks is those green on the tape that come through, and that's predicting and reacting to those levels. One, your prediction is it's going to come down to support and it's going to hold. Two, you're reacting as buyers are coming in, you're reacting and taking your order as well. So watch as this order forms a new candle here. We're kind of chopping around this range. We already rejected our first candle to make a new high there previously, but it doesn't mean there's not dip opportunities in this level. So watch as this comes down to the support line here. So it drops down, I guess pops up here at 11.20, comes back down to 11.08. So I'm watching the ask very closely. Now my eyes are shifting to the bid as we're holding 11. Some selling coming into the tape. You can see some red coming in. Okay, so we got some selling. We weren't able to hold 11, but let's watch as this comes down. You have 70, you have 63, and then that bid starts to pop up, right? And you see some green orders come through the tape here. Some more green orders coming through the tape at 79. And then as this comes down to support, you can really see this on the 10-second chart, that support level here in this area. Buyers are stepping up, supporting this, maybe an entry around 1086, 1090, and then looking for that extension up to 1120. Boom, perfect. That is a picture perfect um, dip buy trade there as you're coming down to those levels, reading the level 2 and the time in sales, watching for those green orders to come through the tape, watching for the next round of buyers to start pushing up the stock. And then other times you may see this pop even higher up over 1120 if it can hold over 11. So 1130, 1135. Looking for that extension up over 1140, 1150. That's nice. Now we already rejected this area once. Odds of rejecting again, very highly probable. So you probably take some positions off here. You see a big seller coming in as well, watching for those orders to come through red on the tape, seeing if some people are selling, and then that's reactive, taking profit off in this level. Another wave of buyers there up to 1160. Very nice. Some red on the tape there as well. Wasn't able to break over that 1160 level. Now we have some surge of buying, but kind of this heading sellers in these areas. Lots of buying coming through on the tape, but we're not breaking up through high of day. So, very nice chart pattern here. Looking for that extension going up higher. But, this is a really good reactive setup for you to take off a dip entry and buy there. So our next one is actually on the kind of a bigger picture here. I'm up $81 on BTCM. I broke this one down on a YouTube video as well. If you want to see the whole live trading archive, it's one of the first live trading archives I actually published on Drive the Stock Market. So you can go back and scroll all the way to the top of the live trading archives and look at the entire breakdown of my trades on this one. But this trade specifically is really good to watch because one, we're moving and this is a very strong stock, but the problem on this one is that we have one key factor limiting the stock, and that's the short sell restriction. So immediately when I see a short sell restriction stock, I'm thinking to myself, breakouts are going to be a little bit choppy, but dip buys are going to be really strong because buyers are going to assume the risk of buying a dip is going to be less likely to make a loss than it is buying these breakouts. So a lot of these times I'll take these trades in these areas based on dip buy and dip entry. So I'm waiting for the bid to hold support, some green to come through on the tape, and then looking for that extension going up higher. So let's watch this dip here. So we're dipping down to 930. We're coming down to this area. We see some red on the tape, but it's holding, right? So a lot of red on the tape there, but we're holding this level. Now we're looking for that extension going up higher. We kind of pop up there for a second. We pop up to 940, and this becomes interesting as buyers are coming in buying this dip. So I wait to see if it wants to break down below a 930. It doesn't. As it comes up to 945, I'm thinking, okay, I might take a scalp here for the breakthrough 950, 960, and looking for that extension back up to 10. Now, what ended up happening was I took my position at 945, looking for that extension up through 950. We come back down. We're kind of holding this level of support in this range where let's see if buyers want to come in. Our first candle makes a new high. So I'm predicting this breakout through 950. So new candle forms here at 950 or just under 950, looking for that extension up to 943, 945 again, 950, and then watch this surge as buying is coming through the tape here all the way up to 968. So watch, I'm going to play that back one more time in real action. So we watch here, I add here for the break-in extension up higher, looking for that first candle to pop and make that really nice micro pullback setup. It dips down for a second, green on the tape coming in now, and then watch that extension coming through 70. And I'm taking some profit off as we're going up higher just to make me up just over $100 on the day trading BTCM. So that was a really nice trade. I'm holding here to see if this one wants to start going up over 10, but we ended up not getting that level. Looking for the next trade. I end up trading a couple more trades on this as well as we continue going up higher. Looking for some extensions, but not ended up breaking. Just over, I think $150 is where I ended off on the day out for this one on a pretty small account. So That's some live trading examples there for level two tape reading. I really hope you guys kind of were able to break that down and slow it down for yourselves to understand the thought process, because now you can take this into the next trading session and analyze these moves in real time when they're happening, and kind of getting a better understanding for yourself for reacting to some of these level two price action levels and then going from there. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and then I'll also be coming out with a risk management video on the live trading archives as well if you're interested in that pretty shortly. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.